Welcome back to another Winter Village video. This year we're going to be going over the changes I've made, the new layout, new buildings, and some of the new techniques I've used. So let's get into it. One of the largest changes you may have noticed is a new creek and a whole new area for an ice skating pond. So for this year's Winter Village, I really wanted to add more green space, and so I spent a long time coming up with this new pond area. For the water, I used different colored blue plates and then put 1x2 transparent plates on top to give it that depth effect. A while ago, I posted in my Instagram stories of the new trees. Everybody seemed to on them. The only thing is they do look really pretty, but they can get kind of pricey. Here's another new tree design that I worked on for this layout. Absolutely love it. I am going to do a tutorial for this one too. So one of the other things I'm super proud of doing this year is getting the carousel up and running. I really want to thank a buddy of mine, Jim, for helping me out with that. He is the amusement park king, and so he was the one who really made this possible, and I'm super happy with the results. So one of the negatives that came out of this is that the carousel rides don't actually bob anymore, because when they bob, at least in this old of a design, it binds the gears. So one of the other things that I did this year off of last year's list is that I recreated a new version of my custom church. This time I went with a tan color and then used a whole bunch of new techniques. I feel like my skill level has increased a lot if you look at the video, link above, versus this one and the last one. I really love this one a lot better. I feel like it fits in more with the Winter Village, and I think it's perfect for Winter Village weddings, which I do want to do a scene with that at some point. But I don't have a bride and a groom Lego fig, so that's on my list. One of the other things I'm really proud of about the church is that I created these new techniques for the windows, and then I was really happy with the roof. I finally actually got that to be much better, and it needs to be a little larger, but I love the way it turned out. And I liked actually changing the color to brown for the roof style. I think that makes a huge difference. So another new addition to the church is that when I redid the plate for it, I created this new snowy birch tree. I definitely need to create more of these for the Winter Village. So one of the other changes from last year are these two new buildings right here. I did have a Lego store in there, but it was basically the set from the actual Lego store. I just plopped it in, and then I had a modern sports shop on the left, and I think that was just too modern for the Winter Village. So what I did was I created a custom Lego store out of the parts and then moved the bakery from the right side over to the left side. And I think that makes the downtown area look so much better. For the downtown core area, I just really wanted to create a plaza so it didn't look so disjointed from the last year's Winter Village. So what I did was created kind of a cement base for the tree and then lined everybody up for the parade. And I think that makes a big difference. One of the other changes for this year was the new Winter Village set, so I added that in. But I have two sets, but I just have not completed the back yet. Speaking of backs, I did actually complete the backs to some of the buildings, and I believe it makes it look so much better. The angles make it a little tricky, and I do need to work on them a little bit more, but I'm pretty happy with the results. So I don't have the back done for the new one, but I do have the back done for the Elf Clubhouse, and then I need to complete the back for the gingerbread house. We have a couple of new vehicles in the Winter Village this year, and one of them is a custom Land Rover Defender that I created. It's based on the one that Lego sells that came out last year. Check this out. Moto from Lego Masters is in our den lug, and he gave me a custom license plate tile. Isn't that awesome? Another new favorite is this moving van that came out with last year's modular set as a gift with purchase. Can't forget this beauty. This came out in December as a gift with purchase, and I absolutely love it. If you remember in last year's video, I also said that I was going to make custom stickers. So I did for the police car. This police car is created by Tanjam Lego, and you can find it on Rebrickable. For the stickers, I am going to say that if you want to buy the stickers that I use, they do look like official Lego stickers. The quality is not quite the same. They're not vinyl, but they do look really good. I'll put the link in the description below so you can purchase those. And a little advice, if you do plan on creating custom stickers, two things. Go to either Bricklink or Brick Owl, and they have the exact dimensions of Lego pieces, and that's how I determine the size of the sticker I need to use or create for the piece. And then also, whenever you get ready to print it out, make sure that you print it to full glossy photo paper, and then make sure that it doesn't upscale. So you may notice that the trolleys aren't running. Well, there's a reason for that. Let's start with this. So I did add a color sensor in here, and what the Lego color sensor does is if you put a colored tile down in the track somewhere on either end, you can go into the Lego Powered Up app and then code it to read the color and stop, so that it would go from one direction all the way to the end and then stop and then come back. Now, I have seen people get this and they have been successful with it, but I have not. I spent about 4 hours with my lug at one of the shows trying to figure it out, and we couldn't get it to work. And then also I tried again at home and still couldn't get it to work. So I don't know what I'm doing wrong. I know that the app kind of stinks. Lego doesn't do a good job of explaining how to use it. The instructions on the website aren't very good either, so that part sucks. But I do plan to just keep working at it until eventually I will get it. And when I do get it, I'm going to do a video showing how I did the coding so that you could do it in your Winter Village too. So I get this question a lot, how I do my snow. Well, I got to be honest, this year I completely stripped all the snow off of the entire Winter Village and then redid it. But I'm going to give you some tips on how I do the snow. So what I do is I use bigger tiles, I use 2x tiles, and then I just break up the snow with some plates, and the plates don't matter. And I did it less frequently than I did last year. I think I was calling it the Star Wars method. It's really not that. It's just a method that people use for ground cover. And so when I redid the snow, there's something that really helps to make it look, I think, a lot better. So let's use this plate as an example with the carousel on it. You'll notice that all of the snow where I could get it travels in one direction. And then on the other plates here, so for basically all the other plates I have, I did it in the opposite direction. And that's just because when I'm replanning the layout, I just can't think far enough ahead when I'm redoing a plate what direction it's going to sit. Otherwise, having all of the snow go in one direction makes a huge difference in the way that it overall looks. I think that helps a lot, but I believe that just doing smooth snow is the key. And so I put a ton, and I do mean a ton, of tiles everywhere. And then I put some random slopes and random plates. And that's how I do my snow. So let's go over the overall layout for this year. So I actually had a lot more plans, and unfortunately I got COVID towards the end of the year and ended up missing my last 2 shows that I was supposed to bring the Winter Village to. And so I didn't get to complete as much as I wanted to complete. So one of the things that was supposed to happen was that this is supposed to come out further, and there was going to be an actual town square. And then I actually built 2 extensions for the train station to come out. And then if you see the tracks are actually supposed to come this way, make a curve, go through a mountain, and then come back around. And so that would have made the 60 plates that I was trying to do this year. But again, I just couldn't get it completed in time. One of the other reasons why I didn't finish the mountains is because I underestimated how much parts those are going to use. And I actually did complete 3 of the plates, but just it's an overwhelming amount of parts. I was very, very surprised. So I have to order buckets and buckets of parts for next year. Overall, I think this is the best Winter Village layout that I've ever done. I'm excited how it turned out, way better than I thought it actually would. And for next year, I'm not sure what direction I'm going to go. I think this layout is so strong because I did a lot of pre-planning versus years previous. I actually did create a PDF layout of what it should be, and then actually spent more time creating the layout. And so that's why I think it works much better. If you remember, I had all this as just buildings. It was just row and rows of buildings. And so taking that out, planning out the square better, and then putting in the pond really gave it the breathing room that it really needed. And so for next year, I'm not sure what I'm going to do. Either I'm going to expand it, I'm going to keep doing what I'm going to do, try something new, or just keep revising the way that it looks now because it looks so good. That's a wrap on this year's LEGO Winter Village update. Thank you guys for watching and supporting me. I really appreciate it. Also, I do have a small announcement in the description below. There will be a link to my new Bricklink store. Yes, I opened a Bricklink store, and I'm excited to bring you videos on that soon. But if you would like to support me, please order some bricks from me. I super appreciate that. Anyway, I hope you guys had a Merry Christmas, and I hope you'll have a Happy New Year. I will see you guys in the next one.